At this point, I think pretty much everyone's aware of the details surrounding the assassination attempt on President Trump last Saturday. Okay, and I wanted to talk about this because, and I'm assuming here, and I get in trouble every time I assume, but I'm assuming this is something we can all agree on. And that's so rare these days for an event to occur that we can all actually agree on. And that is that the Secret Service performed horribly. I don't care if you love Trump, hate Trump, whatever. That's irrelevant. We're just talking about the Secret Service right now and the job they did providing security for him. It was horrible. As in, I think we could have got a Boy Scout troop together and put them there and said, hey, you know, if y'all see something suspicious, like a young man with a rifle climbing up a ladder, let one of the state troopers know. And I think that would have been more effective. Okay, and everyone I know, they're asking the same question right now about the Secret Service. Was that malicious or was it incompetence? I mean, right now, that's the only two options I see, or some combination thereof. I've heard several people say, well, maybe the Secret Service detail, maybe they were just inexperienced, or maybe they were understaffed, or whatever, and their higher-ups made those decisions to put those inexperienced, understaffed people there intentionally in order to make an attempt on Trump's life likely to succeed. That would be the malicious part on the higher-ups and just incompetence on the people that were there. Okay, and I'm not trying to beat up on that Secret Service detail. I'm sure they're way more capable and talented than I am at so many things. All right, but the job they did was horrible. Before, during, and after the shooting. Okay, so what happened? Incompetence or maliciousness? And we're not even going to go down the road of maliciousness. Okay, I mean, let's just assume incompetence. All right. How did the Secret Service get in that poor of condition as an organization? How did they become that incompetent? All right, and this is the scary part for me. I'm seeing this in all of our institutions. Incompetency, that much incompetency. Again, and I'm not assuming maliciousness. Okay, so U.S. military. All right, what do you even call that? The abandonment of Afghanistan? Because that wasn't a withdrawal. A withdrawal would imply some sort of orderliness. Okay, that was just utter chaos. You know, grab your stuff and run. And let's leave all this millions of dollars of weapons for our enemies. Not to mention, I mean, after 20 years of occupation, why did the Taliban even still exist? And I've heard people say things like, well, the Taliban, they just blended in with the population and they were hiding in caves and, you know, it's hard to fight that. It ain't hard to fight that. All the military had to do was get creative and do something like say, hey, we're leaving. And the Taliban were really easy to spot then. And then they could have took them out. Okay, incompetence or maliciousness. And why are we even having to look at the U.S. military and say incompetence or maliciousness? Okay, neither one of those are good for our military. News media. This isn't just government, news media. How many of you did not know that Joe Biden had dementia until the debate with Trump a couple of weeks ago? Seriously, how many of you didn't know? How many of you didn't realize he was that bad? All right, why did you not know? Because the media didn't tell you. All right. Okay, I'm going to stay away from the maliciousness. Okay, how could the media not know? Okay, so with the media, incompetence or maliciousness? I mean, it had to be one or the other. The President of the United States has dementia. And the media has never even thought to ask about it or mention it. Okay, where do we want to go next? COVID. All right, healthcare, yeah, why not? Incompetence or maliciousness. That whole debacle from the masks and the shutdowns and the vaccine that actually isn't a vaccine, it's an experimental gene therapy that was mandated for people to take. And I mean, that whole mess. And then what it did to the economy and inflation and kids being taken out of school and not learning anything for 2 years in some states. Incompetence or maliciousness. And we could say it's just human error, okay, because that happens, but I mean, after a while, we got to start thinking, okay, so errors on this scale by this many people with these organizations. Incompetence or maliciousness. All right, because at a certain point, it becomes incompetence. Secret Service at Trump's rally. Okay, if one person just made a mistake, to err is human, we all do it. But for everybody on that detail to make so many mistakes before, during, and after the shooting, incompetence or maliciousness. Okay, neither one of them are good. And again, just sticking with the incompetence, that's really, I mean, we kind of need these agencies. We kind of need our institutions. We sort of need the media to inform us of little things like, oh yeah, your president has dementia. This kind of stuff kind of matters. All right, and now that the media is very well aware of his condition, why aren't they asking, well, who's running the country? That could be useful information. And they're not. Okay, the military, what have they changed? How have they improved since Afghanistan? I'm guessing they hadn't gotten better. I mean, they just lost how many millions of dollars at the Pentagon, or money sent to Ukraine's all of a sudden missing? I mean, just incompetence or maliciousness. Okay, healthcare. What happens when the next, I'm trying to think of how to word this. What happens when the next bioengineered virus escapes from a lab in China that was funded by the U.S.? Has our healthcare system, our National Institute of Health and so on, World Health Organizations, have any of these organizations learned from their mistakes and said, okay, we're going to make some changes so that maybe next time we can do a better job? I don't think so. All right, well, anyway, I'm not even going to go down that path. This is tough. All right. We need our institutions to function. We need them to be competent. Okay, Secret Service, who's going to fix that? Because that organization's looking really sad right now. Who's going to fix it? The current leader? She doesn't seem to have done a good job so far. Okay, Mayorkas, head of Homeland Security, since that technically falls under him, he can't even secure the border and it's stationary. And why can't he secure the border? Incompetence or maliciousness? Okay, so how do we fix this? I mean, that's what this boils down to, because we need these organizations, we need our institutions, we need this stuff to work, and this is costing people their lives. Again, how many died in Afghanistan? How much blood and treasure was wasted there? How many U.S. citizens and allies were abandoned there to be tortured by the Taliban? Trump's rally. Okay, I can't pronounce the guy's last name, but the firefighter that was shot there protecting his family. And that man's a hero. Compentori. I mean, we should know his name. I mean, if nothing else, I mean, all of us should know his name. Corey Compentori. I'm going to make sure I remember that. That was a hero. Okay, well, the way we fix this is we have more heroes, more people like him. I mean, that's all I got. It took us so long to get into the situation we're in right now. It's just going to be generations getting out of this. And I heard something recently that this just really stood out for me. I thought it was pretty good. It was Tucker Carlson interviewing Mike Cernovich. And Mike Cernovich, I mean, he had some kind of weird things to say, and a lot of things I thought was very thought-provoking. And one thing he said that just stuck with me. He was talking about story structure, the hero's journey. And he mentioned that, you know, hey, this is fiction. We see those stories and it's appealing to us because we all want that mentor to show up and save us from whatever. And he said, that's fiction. The mentor's never going to show up. And he's right. Okay. We have to become that mentor. Okay, so that's anything right now. If Trump can't save us, okay, now he can help, you know, I hope, do some things with the government, but he can't save us. The problem's too big. Okay, so if you're looking for Trump to be that mentor, the savior, he can't do it. All right, and in any situation you're dealing with, if you're 18 years old and you're dealing with bullies, and you know you would love for that mentor to show up and beat up the bullies for you, it's not going to be there. We have to become what we're looking for to come save us. We have to become the mentor. All right, so if you're 18 years old and you're getting bullied and you're hoping that, you know, whoever's going to come up and save you from the bullies, they're not. You have to become that person. You need to go sign up for some martial arts or do whatever you got to do. If you think a politician's going to come save you, he's not. You need to educate yourself and you need to run for office. You need to become that person you're looking for. Okay, that's how we fix this. We all become the people that we hope would show up to help us. Okay, and for us Christians, you know, we have our mentor, that's Christ. And hey, we need to try to emulate him. Okay, I said I was staying away from politics. How did I do? I mean, I didn't think that was political. I thought it was just important stuff that needed to be said regardless of your political affiliation. Okay, now for me, next time I'm going to be back on the house. I'm still working on it. And hey, maybe in some ways that's me becoming the person I feel like I need to be. All right, building my own house or remodeling it and building half of it. Okay, and so many of us talk now about how expensive houses are and we can't afford houses and so forth. What if we were to build our own? Okay, and all it takes is time and work and some money, but it definitely doesn't take nearly as much money as if we were to go pay someone to build it for us. You know, just some stuff to think about. God bless, and we'll see you next time. We'll talk about the house.